Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I welcome you to my new amazing tutorial. In this tutorial, we are going to learn how to make a simple notes app using HTML, CSS and JavaScript. So let's get started with our project. So first we will refresh our project, and then you can see that we have an input box and a add button. So let's add something. So when you click on this add button, so you can see that whatever we have given in the input, that is added to our nodes. So we have in that we have a beautiful div with a beautiful hover effect and a edit icon and delete icon. So let's add some one more. So you can see that another also we have added, and let's add another text from this website. So we'll add some other text. So you can see that if it is more text or the less text, it occupying the same width and height. And you can see that we have a edit button and delete button. So when you click in this edit button, that text in this div will be appear in the input box, and this div will be hidden from here. So when I click on, so you can see that that div has been disappear, and that text of the div will be play into the input box. So now we can edit it, like you can type here Becodewala, and when we add, you can see that we have a Becodewala text in it. And when we click on delete button, it will be deleted. So you can see that it is permanently deleted. So it's working fine, and you can add more notes whatever you want. You can type it here and you can add it, and that will be displayed in a beautiful div, and you can edit also and you can delete also. So this is our project we are going to build using HTML, CSS and JavaScript. So come to our VS Code. So before that, if you are new to our channel, please don't forget to subscribe us. So first let's start with the HTML file. So in HTML file, first of all we have linked our font awesome CDN link. So you can see that a font awesome CDN link from the font awesome website to get the icons. And then we have a style.css that you can see here, this style.css file. And then we have a body tag. In body tag you can see that we have a marquee tag subscribe Becodewala on YouTube. So you can see that on above we have a moving text from left to right. So that text we have added using marquee tag. So now we have a div with class container. In this container we have another div with input container, and in this input container we have a input tag and button tag. In input tag we have a id input, class input and placeholder, and then we have a button, we have a id button, class button, and in this class button we have a plus icon. So you can see that this I tag we have used here for this plus icon, which you can see here, to add the nodes. Then out of this input container we have a another div with a id nodes to add our nodes in our div, and we have a class also nodes. Then we have linked our JavaScript file, which you can see here. So now come for the style. So here we have imported this font awesome in our CSS also for the different font size and different bold. You can see that the bold 400, 600, 700, 900. So different ratio we have added to it. And then for our page we have a box sizing, border box, margin 0, padding 0, and a font family Poppins and sans serif. So this font family Poppins we have added here, you can see on the top. Then we have a body tag. In body tag we have a beautiful linear gradient, which you can see in our page. And then we have a h1 tag text align center, color white, and margin top 20 pixel. This text you can see the simple notes app. And now we have a container. In this container we have a maximum width 1000 pixel, margin 0 and auto, then a padding 20 pixel, display flex direction column, and align atom center for our container. So in this container we are going to add everything in this container. So in this container we have a input tag. So for input tag we have a width 80%, padding 1 rem and 4 rem, and a border none. Then we have a border radius 10 pixel and a outline none. Then we have a box shadow, then we have a margin right, and then we have a font size, and then we have a font weight 600. Then we have a color. You can see that this color for our the input text. Then for the button class we have a position absolute, width 4%, and then we have a padding 1 rem, font size 1 rem, border none, then border radius 10 pixel, then background white, and then a color of the text for our the button. You can see that this color, and the cursor pointer, box shadow, and margin. So everything we have added to our this button, so you can style according to your needs. So this is the simple CSS. And come to our nodes class, we have a width 80%, margin top 20 pixel, display grid, and grid template column repeat autofill, and min max 200 pixel, and then we have a grid gap 20 pixel. So whatever the nodes we are adding, so that we have a grid gap, and for that we have added this grid property, and then we have another class node. In this node we have a padding 10 pixel and border radius 10 pixel, and a background white, color and font weight, and box shadow, position relative, and text align justify. So here I can show you, here we have a nodes. So for that we have added. Now for the node we have a, where we have the node class. So you can see that no node class in this node te. So you can see that no node class in this HTML. So in CSS we have a node class. So but we have used here CSS property in our node class. So no node class is available in HTML file, means we have a node class in our JavaScript file. So I will show you the node class. So you can see that I will show you, we have a class name node. So in JavaScript we have a class node. So this class node we are styling here. So with the help of JavaScript we are going to create an HTML with the class node, and that class node we are going to style in our style.css. That's we are going to do using JavaScript. So now come for our hovering. So we have a transform scale 1.05 and transition of 0.3 second each, and then we have a edit. For edit icon we have a position absolute, button 5 pixel, right 70 pixel, and font size 20 pixel, and we have a color of the edit button, and then cursor pointer. Then we have a delete for absolute, bottom 5, right 10, and then we have a font size 20 pixel, color of the text, color of the icon, and the cursor pointer, and we have a marquee for the color white. So these are the simple CSS to style our this simple notes app. So come to the main part, how our notes app is going to work. So first of all we will get all the elements from the HTML. So input, button, and notes. So you can see that input, this input ID, and button id and nodes id. These three tags we are going to store in our variable. So you can see that we have a store in our variable here. Now we have created an array to store the nodes. So in an array we are going to store our nodes. So initially our array is empty. Now we have added a add event listener to our button. Which button? So this button, this plus button, we are going to add event listener. When we click on this button, so what will happen? It will first it will get the input value. Input dot value means whatever the user will type, that value will be stored in this let variable. Note. Then now it will check if not empty. If input is not empty, then it will push the note. So this whatever the you have typed, that value will be pushed into the note. So and input value will be clear and it will render this function render node. So what I am trying to say, if you type something coding, so that user have typed some value, that input value will be taken and this input value will be displayed here, that it will push into the note into the nodes array. So see 1 2 3, these are the nodes that we are going to push, and if it is, and it will clear the input value. So when we added something, then when we add the input box, this is automatically clear and it will render the nodes. So this render function nodes we are going to see down. So now we have defined a function to render the nodes. So whatever the changes will happen in our nodes app, that will render every time whenever we will edit, change, delete or add some nodes. So we have created a function render nodes, and then we have a clear the nodes container. So nodes container we have clear, and then we have looped through the nodes array. So every time we will add some nodes that will stored in our array. If that length is less than this iteration, then we have created an div with for each node, and we have used create element. So in JavaScript we use create element to create a HTML tag. So here div we are going to create. So I'll show you. Here we have created this div tag. So similarly, with the help of JavaScript we are going to create a div tag, and in this div tag we have created a class. We have given a class name node. So here I'll show you. Before we have seen that we have a node class. So this node class, like in HTML we used to give classes like here button. So similarly, with the help of JavaScript we are going to add a class to this div. So the same thing we are going to do with the JavaScript. Then after that, that inner text, whatever the text will be added, that will added to the nodes array. And then after that we have created a span for the edit icon. So that edit icon will be stored in a span tag, and that span tag we have created and it using create element. So similarly we have created here div. So similarly we have created a span tag. So a span tag in HTML, I'll show you a span. So you can see that this span tag, this same span tag we are going to create with the help of JavaScript. So then we have added a class named edit. So before that in HTML file we don't have any edit class. You can see that no edit class. So here we have styled some edit class in our CSS. So where it's come from? So we have created the edit class in JavaScript, and that edit class we have given a icon f icon tag. You can see that fa edit. So if we change to delete, it will show the delete icon. So this is the I tag we can find on the font.sm website, and you can paste the I tag in our project to get the icon. So with the help of CDN we can get, or you can download and install in our project also. So CDN is the easy method we can get the icon. So now come for our uh, edit icon function. So now we have added this icon, right? So how our edit button is going to work, that function we are going to add it now. So for that we have added a event listener or edit button, and then we have created a function, and then whatever the node in this div we have, that we have to get it in our input box, and then this div will be disappear. So I'll show you. When you click on this edit button, so this edit button is that whatever text in the div, that will be in this input box, and that thing will be disappeared. When I click on this coding button, so this coding div has been disappeared, and then it's a it is appearing in the input box. So for that we have created this, that no div inner text will be in no text, and that input value will be the note tag, and then remove the note from the array. Whenever we are clicking on the edit button, it will removing that div. So using slice we are going to remove one that div, then we will render the nodes. So whenever we are made some change, then it will again render our nodes. So coding be code wala. So whatever the changes we have made here, that changes will be re-rendered on our website. So now we have go to the delete button. So similarly we have created a span tag using JavaScript, and we have added a delete class name. So you can see that delete class name we have added a style in the style.css, and similarly we have added this delete icon fa trash using font awesome, and then we have added a function how our delete button is going to work. So for that we have add event listener click. When a user will click, that nodes will be slice, means it will be cut it out, means remove. So here we are going to take in edit button that value in the input text, and then it is removing, and here in delete button no need to edit. So for we are just removing that div from the our notes app, and then it will re-render the notes, means whatever the new changes will be there, that will be appear on the our notes app. Now we are going to append our icon to the node div. So we have this created a tag, and then we have added function, and so now we have to attach this icon to our div. So note div, so whatever the note we are going to create, that in this div we are going to add this edit span. So now this whatever the edit icon we have added, and we have a function that we have added to this div. So this div we have to work on this div. So for this we have added this icon in this div. So we have used append child. So using append child we can add a this our delete span or edit span. So this we have stored in our this variable delete span, that delete icon and edit icon will be added to the div, and whatever the function we have added to this icon, that will work on that div only. And now here we have a last we have added the node div to the nodes container. So here we have in HTML file nodes container. So in that nodes container we have added the node div, whatever the node we have added in that one this node container. I'll show you. Here we have created a div node div with class node. Okay, so this way in this our node is going to store. Now this node is attached to the this nodes div, another div. I'll show you this div. So, and in this div we have specify some CSS property to display it in a formal way in a using grid template columns, so that whenever we'll add, that will be display in a format. So here 1 2 3, then 1 2 3, so like that it is adding to our app. So this how we have created a simple notes app using HTML, CSS and JavaScript. So hope you guys like the video, subscribe the channel and don't forget to share with your friends. If you have any doubt, you can comment in our comment box and I'll post the project source code on our GitHub. You can give a star on our GitHub project. So thank you. Thank you so much for watching. We will meet in next video with a new amazing project.